Let's talk about the top 3 skills that any wholesaler's gotta have in this changing market. Check it out. Bam, what's up? We are back on the Wholesaling Business Blueprint series. Let's talk about the top 3 skills that every wholesaler needs to have, right? It's not what you think. I'm not going to talk about sales skills. I'm not going to talk about closing skills or any of the other stuff that you need to have as a wholesaler. But these are the top 3 skills that you need to own if you're an entrepreneur, but more specifically, if you're wholesaling, because there's a lot of change happening right now in the market. There's a lot of things that are shifting. The economy is just going batshit crazy. We're looking at interest rates, skyrocket. They're going through the roof. So what's going on in sellers' minds, right? Like there's a lot of change in that side of the business. So what happens? It ripples over to our side of the business. And then we have to adapt. We have to overcome. We have to figure out how to continue in business without really taking a big toll on what's already in place, right? So that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, to make sure that you're not losing out on any of the tips and advice that I put out on a regular basis, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share the channel. And if you want to find out more about real estate wholesaling in particular, go to reiwholesaling.com, all right? With that being said, top 3 skills, right? We have to have, number one, it's got to be adaptability. All right. Yes, we do have to own that vision of where we want to go as business owners, as wholesalers, right? You have to craft that in your head so you can nourish the desire that you're going to need to go through the hard times. Now, with that being said, adaptability comes at the very top of that list. Right now, if you're not adaptable, if you're not able to pivot, if you're not able to find the gaps in the business, you're going to be in trouble, right? The same stuff that was working 6 months ago for lead generation and sales is not the same stuff that's working right now. So you have to make sure that you shift. You have to make sure that you know how to shift and the right actions that you need to take to get yourself to that space. So adaptability is going to be huge. One, in your process, in your business, also in your mindset. Okay, when sellers, and you're probably already seeing it, but when sellers start being more lenient when it comes to accepting offers, but the buyers are a lot more selective when buying those offers, you still have a problem. You have to adapt from being that acquisitions expert to being that dispo expert, right? So adaptability is going to be huge. Think about that and how that applies to your overall business. Number 2, tenacity. All right, this is not something that you can pick up in a book. You can't pick up tenacity, put it in your pocket, and start walking around with it. You can't buy it on Amazon. You can't, get it through degrees from school. The only way that tenacity is gonna work for you is if you're in it, if you're actually taking the actions on a regular basis, and you're in the business, right? You're in the experience of it. You're building that thicker skin that you need to have as a business owner. It creates leadership. It creates grit and the ability to overcome the adversity that's thrown at us on a regular basis, especially right now. Everybody thinks this industry is dead. Honestly, we are prepping. We are prepping for one of the biggest opportunities since 2008. All right, it's just, this is an unpopular opinion, but in my case, we're prepping because there's going to be a lot of opportunity opening up. If you're positioned right, you're going to be able to capitalize on that kind of stuff, right? If you're not, if you don't have that tenacity to go through the shifts right now, to go through that adaptability, you're not going to be able to sustain. You're not going to be able to last long in this business enough to capitalize on that opportunity that's coming. It's coming. I am not the only person saying that. Anybody who's smart when it comes to real estate. Look at what some of the biggest players out there are doing. They're stashing all their cookies and they're getting ready for that big buy, right? So tenacity plays into it. You have to have that tenacity to continue on with the conversations. You have to have that tenacity to see the opportunity that's coming and shift from that acquisition stage to that dispo stage and be able to sustain the business, right? So keep that in mind. Number 3, it's gonna be time and action processes, right? Not just processes. Your process, for example, the blueprint, it's a 6-step process, right? We source, we convert, we acquire, we display, we measure, and then we improve. That's a business process. But I want to talk to you about the time and action process. What's your process when it comes to optimizing the use of your time? What's your process when it comes to optimizing the use of your actions? Making sure that the stuff that you're actually doing, that you're spending time in, it's pushing you forward. It's moving that needle as opposed to just staying busy and tasky and repetitive and then fucking 6 months go through and then you're still in the same spot. That's not what we want. And maybe you would have been able to survive with that kind of process in place for time and action in the past, but now it's not going to happen. You have to be a lot more diligent about where you're spending your actions in, right? So create a process, whatever your schedule looks like. If you're in a 9 to 5 and you're hustling through this for 2 to 4 hours a day, that's fine. And yes, I did say the word hustle. Hustle is season, right? So we're gonna have to hustle through some stuff and then create a business. But tangent. Anyways, if you're going through that, make sure that you create a process for your time. You start time blocking. You start figuring out, okay, what are the actions that I need to squeeze in this 4-hour block? Because this 4-hour block is what's gonna buy me my freedom. Ironically, we're recording this on the 4th of July. So think about the stuff that's gonna buy you your freedom, right? Those 4 hours that you're putting in after your regular 9 to 5, that's what's gonna buy you the freedom going forward, right? It's not gonna be that 9 to 5. Inflation is kicking your ass when it comes to savings and all that stuff. I guarantee you that anytime you leave your money in the bank, you're losing your money just gradually, right? So keep that kind of stuff in mind, but make sure that you have a time and an action process figured out. Those are the top 3 things that I think every wholesaler who's gonna make it, who's gonna survive and kind of stick around for the long run and really be able to capitalize on the stuff that's coming, the opportunities that are coming. Those are the top 3 skills that I think we need to master, right? So hope you like that. Again, subscribe, like, and share. If you want to find out more about wholesaling and the actual overall process, go to reiwholesaling.com. Stay focused. You've got this. Let's go.